Good evening. Well, of course, that news is just coming through here, and I think most people are still shrugging their shoulders because they're not really sure what it means. They seem to be having these votes all of the time. But what I can tell you from Belfast, where I am now, I've been here for the past couple of days doing another report for next week about the fears that people have here. Because when you're talking about Brexit, and we've been talking loads about the Irish backstop, for people here, the history is all too relevant, and that's what they're worried about. Now, on the site where I'm standing right here in the 1970s, during the height of the Troubles, bombs went off. This used to be a bus stop. People were killed. People were injured. It was one of a series of bombs on that day known as Bloody Friday. And during the decades of that conflict, thousands of people died here in Northern Ireland in this sectarian conflict. And it was only in 1998 that a peace agreement, the Good Friday Agreement, was signed. And there has been relative peace since. But what people didn't need here, they're already divided along religious lines, on sectarian lines between loyalists and Republicans. This Brexit divide, everyone that I've spoken to here said it was the last thing that they needed. They didn't need another reason to have to debate and argue with each other. And what people are worried about here is the lack of thought that's been given in Westminster to the repercussions for this country if it is cut off from the Republic of Ireland, if a hard border is once again put in place, because that could reignite some of the tensions here, some of the feelings that people have, and it leaves the citizens here in a difficult position because they are entitled to both EU citizenship with Ireland and British citizenship as well. But that is all now in the process of changing unless the Prime Minister can come up with a deal and honour what she had previously agreed with the backstop arrangements. So it is, for people here, a genuine worry because within living memory, these kind of tensions cause real problems.
And given the importance of ensuring there is no hard border, the Irish Foreign Minister has renewed Ireland's commitment to ensuring there is no physical infrastructure. But how realistic a prospect is that?
Well, the fact is, if at the end of March the UK leaves without a deal, if it crashes out, as some people describe it, well, then the frontier between the European Union and the United Kingdom, the only land frontier, is here on the island of Ireland. And just to tell you about that border, there are more crossings there than the entire eastern flank of the European Union. It has hundreds of crossings. There are waterways. There are roads that go in and out of the two countries. It is pretty hard to control that border, as the British Army found to its detriment. And people here simply don't want to be in a situation where that infrastructure has to be put in place. They've spent the last 20 years taking it down. But at the moment, it just simply is not clear what will happen. And the trade through these two countries, it's basically an invisible border, and they don't want to see any changes to that.